Alright, I'll say, how are you all this day of your time as you create time to exist?
Very good, wonderful.
We begin this interaction this day of your time with the entitlement. Shivai.
Alright, Shivai!
Although, within our society, we no longer have the need, no longer have the tool or the symbol of what you call language. We did at one time have such. From time to time, when exactly necessary, we may convey to you the idea of some of these words. But in particular, there has been expressed an interest in the idea of Shivai. For in our society, it has, shall we say, a very significant meaning, and we will share that with you now. Because within our societal structure, the idea of clear intention is, shall we say, rather inherent, and all individuals proceed in synchronous accord with their clear intentions from time to time in a spontaneous fashion, in what you may call a revelatory way. An individual would experience a sudden and complete realization of the clear definition with which they may proceed to explore the ideas they are discovering. And the expression which has dawned from this idea is Shivai, which means essentially, stand out of the way. I have clear intention. I shall now proceed according to my excitement. And the result upon our planet is that all individuals would, in fact, stand out of the way and allow that individual to proceed with the surety of this idea. Therefore, this can be an appropriate symbol to you at this timing, for you may choose to proceed with this Shivai undertone, somewhat what you have labeled, though not exactly, the idea of the peaceful warrior, the path of the warrior, not meaning in a conflictive sense, not meaning in a war-like sense or a fighting sense, but in that determination is that of a warrior proceeding and not accepting any interruption in this procession. Therefore, this is a powerful symbol, and from time to time we may share these ideas with you. Now, another idea we wish to convey to you this day of your time, and due to your considerations of timing, this shall be a brief interaction. However, Happy Mother's Day! This has many symbols also, which are appropriate for this discussion. One of those, which you have already realized, is the idea that one of the symbols you have assigned to your planet is that of Mother. The idea of the nurturing aspect, the idea of the supportive aspect. And in this sense, this is your second Mother's Day of this year of your time, for in your April month, you had such a day, Earth Day, which in a sense was also a type of Mother's Day. However, we understand that within your society, the intention of this idea is more along the lines of your physiological mother, and this aspect or idea may be expanded also, for within each individual from our perspective, and we are seeing that you are now realizing this in and of yourself, is the idea of male and female energy. One of the aspects of the idea of female energy, as we have shared with you, is the idea of receptivity, creativity, but also this idea of mother, nurturing, supportive, and again, this may be integrated within each individual, and in fact is occurring upon your planet at this time. The blending of these energies. There are very specific reasons for the choosing of one particular physiological representation than another, but each representation does contain both. Understand this. So therefore, your Mother's Day is a representation of a, as you say, salute to the idea of physiological motherhood, but it is also a dedication to the idea of the Earth, your planet, and the female energy within. A final note before we do open up this interaction to brief sharing. The idea has arisen in your exploration of what you call manifestation, of the idea of some confusion about timing. We shall share with you what has been our observed timetable, in a sense, of manifestation, both in our society and in yours. When you have established your clear intention for manifestation, and understand this is an important point, and you proceed in action according to what excites you the most, not taking into consideration, is this going to bring upon this manifestation? For you take for granted that your clear intention will manifest. The timetable you can expect these manifestations will be as follows. 3 of your days, 3 of your weeks, or the idea of 3 of your months. That is all. It only takes that long. The degree of which will depend on certain factors, that of timing, but also the idea of your willingness to trust and do what excites you the most. If you prefer, shall we say, the 3-day manifestation, then for 3 days proceed only doing what excites you the most. If you are more preferential for the idea of 3-week manifestation, then shall we say, you may be somewhat remiss with your excitement. Maybe 60% excitement, 30% misery, whatever, but the idea being that there is a proportional relationship to your willingness to realize that that excitement is the path, is 100% the path. If it excites you, it is the path. It is you giving an indication to you that this is the path. Many of you have chosen not to believe this idea. Again, maybe it's too simple. Maybe there are various other reasons. But this is the mechanics of how this does react. If indeed you choose to only be slightly excited and live in doubt, in fear, in invalidation, you are now swinging yourself to the idea of the 3-month period. However, this can be shortened greatly by simply trust. Again, your end product, desired result, is to have a life of fun. Generally, you impose upon this the restriction that this is a monetary abundant fun. However, again, that is your end desired result. What we are simply suggesting is to start out that way in order to be that way already. Again, you may think about these ideas, and this is, as you say, the bottom line. 3 days is all it need take. You have been exposed to what we have recommended, one of the few processes we have recommended, the causal plane technique by the entity Lazardus. It does work in 3 days. But the determining factor, again, is your willingness to trust, to have expectancy and not expectation, and realizing that proceeding in your excitement is the path of least resistance, which is the path that anything does take. Therefore, again, we think we have made the point. If there are questions about this, feel free to ask them. And an appreciation for your interaction with us at this time and your invitation to us to attend your Mother's Day party. We ask you now, how may we be of service to you? Share